The next part of the story continues when Moses is far away in the land of Midian. I'm sure at the time Moses also would have wondered where God was in this whole situation and why God had allowed this to happen to him when he, Moses, had been trying to do something very good to liberate his people. Now a priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came to draw water and fill the troughs to water their father's flock. Some shepherds came along and drove them away, but Moses got up and came to their rescue and watered their flock. Now when the girls returned to Reuel, their father, he asked them, Why have you returned so early today? They answered, An Egyptian rescued us from the shepherds. He even drew water for us and watered the flock. And where is he? Reuel asked his daughters. Why did you leave him? Invite him to have something to eat. Moses agreed to stay with the man who gave him his daughter Zipporah to Moses in marriage. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, I have become a foreigner in a foreign land. Some people have said that Moses received the perfect training that he needed to be a future leader for God's people. In Pharaoh's household, he would have learned how to read and write. He would have learned a little bit about management, and he would have learned some military strategy and tactics. All of that he needed later on to be a leader for God's people. But in Midian with his father-in-law, he would have learned another skill as well. He would have learned how to take care of sheep. And this is a type of skill that God often made his people go through who he wanted to be future leaders. King David had to become a shepherd as well before he became a king. There was one other thing that Moses learned while he was in the wilderness. This was the same wilderness, or close to it, where he later would have taken the Israelite people for 40 years on the way to the promised land. Moses would have learned how to survive in the wilderness, how to survive in that wilderness, and that would have been a very valuable experience. So even though Moses felt like he was a failure, God was involved and God was training Moses for something bigger and better. The same thing can happen with us too. Sometimes when we think we failed or when life hasn't gone the way we thought it should have gone, God might be involved to train us to use those experiences for something bigger and better later on.